Dear friends, if you followed this story, then you already know how bad things turned out for Bucky. The village girl who fell for Femi. The Lagos guy with city secrets and a heart wrapped in lies. But listen well, Femi too isn't so innocent. His mother forced him to marry a girl from the village, hating anything city. But now, Bimbo is pregnant. Bucky is pregnant. And nobody even knows who Bucky's baby really belongs to. Is it Femi's? Or is it Dave's? The man with a wife, their hotel room. And that's 50 million Nigerian Naira's transfer. And what did Bucky really do with that money? And Titi, her best friend, the one who betrayed her and laughed while doing it. The real story starts now. And trust me, this is not your regular love story. This one will leave you shaking. Welcome to the next part. Femi stood by the gate, eyes fixed on Bucky like he was seeing a ghost in broad daylight. Bucky, what are you doing here? Femi. I'm pregnant, she said. The silence was louder than traffic. Femi stepped back. Pregnant? How? Bucky stared at him with tired, swollen eyes. You know how, Femi? You were still sleeping with me, even after chasing me out. Femi blinked. He remembered. That weekend she came to pick her things, they argued, then made up, briefly, in bed. He sighed. Come inside, he said, voice hollow. Inside, the scent of Bimbo's perfume hung like a ghost too, mocking Bucky. The handbag on the couch was a brutal reminder she was still there. Still in the picture. Femi dropped his keys. Poured water. Avoided Bucky's eyes. So, what do you want now? His words felt like knives. Bucky laughed. A weak, broken sound. Nothing. Just thought you should know. Femi rubbed his face, defeated. Bimbo's pregnant too. Mama has already. Already what? Bucky snapped, the rage boiling over. Forced you to marry me before, and now she's pushing you to her. He looked away. She's carrying my child. So am I. Bucky yelled. The tension in the room cracked like thunder. Outside, the city carried on. But here, time stopped. Bucky left Femi's house with nothing but a heavy heart and a swelling belly. But there was one thing she carried that night that could change everything, Nigerian Naira 50 million. Dave's money. Sent from that hotel room. The money she demanded to start over. She didn't waste time. Back in Onondo, Bucky made her first move. She built her mother a modest house, small but steady. A fortress away from shame and gossip. Mama's eyes welled up the day she stepped inside. Bucky saw the pride mixed with tears, and it fueled her fire. Then came the business for Mama. A tiny kiosk selling fresh produce and snacks at the market. Bucky hired a young girl from their neighborhood to help run it. It gave the family something to hold on to, a lifeline. But Bucky wasn't done. She saved part of the money quietly. Tucked it away like a secret weapon. She needed to think long term. Next, she opened a bigger shop in Ondo's bustling market, a baby item store. The irony wasn't lost on her. A place filled with hope and new life, built on betrayal and broken promises. She hired 2 assistants. The shop's bright windows caught the eyes of busy mothers and expectant wives. Even the doctor's wife became a regular customer. Yet every night, Bucky cried alone. The success didn't erase the pain or the shame. The money bought her options, yes, but not peace. One evening, her phone rang. An unknown number. A voice she never expected. Mama Femi. She said coldly. That girl Bimbo. She's not who you think she is. That pregnancy, it might not be Femi's. Bucky's fingers trembled. Mama Femi didn't sleep that night. The voice on the phone haunted her. That pregnancy, it might not be Femi's. She paced her living room like a lioness in a cage. Beads clicking in her fingers, whispering prayers mixed with curses. For the first time since Bucky left, she felt something crawl under her skin. Doubt. By morning, she called Femi. You do a DNA test. I don't care if she's wearing lace or fire, I don't trust that bimbo girl. Femi hesitated. He didn't want more drama. But Mama's voice had a warning tone he couldn't ignore. Mama, we already pushed Bucky away. If bimbo leaves too, I'd rather be ashamed of the truth than be bound to a lie, she snapped. So, he agreed. Quietly. Behind bimbo's back. He made arrangements, samples, paperwork, the whole process. Bimbo noticed the tension. She asked questions. Why are you acting strange, Femi? He smiled tightly. Work stress. But she wasn't stupid. Something was off. Meanwhile in Ondo, Bucky was stocking diapers on the shelf when her phone buzzed. A message. From a strange number. I heard Bimbo's baby might not be Femi's. You're not the only one with secrets, babe. Bucky stared at the message. Her hands went cold. The DNA results came quietly, like a time bomb wrapped in an envelope. Femi opened the file on his phone alone. His hands shook. Mama stood behind him, muttering prayers. And there it was. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. Femi blinked, read it again. Then again, still 0. He called Bimbo, told her to come over. She arrived with confidence in her steps and lies in her smile. Until Femi threw the phone at her. Explain this. Bimbo stared at the result, then laughed. Is this what your mother made you do? You people are crazy. Tell me the truth, Bimbo. Whose child is it? She clutched her handbag, still trying to lie. But her silence screamed louder. Before Mama Femi could lift her hand, Bimbo ran out. Humiliated. The truth burned the house like fire. Mama Femi sat on the floor. I chased the wrong girl. I cursed the one who carried my true grandchild. Her face fell into her palms. How do we fix this? Femi drove to Ondo the next day. He parked in front of Bucky's shop and waited. She came out with a pack of wipes in one hand, her belly big, her eyes sharp. What are you doing here? Femi came down and knelt on the dusty street in front of her shop. Onlookers stared. Some whispered. I messed up. I need you. I want to do right by you and this child. Bucky didn't blink. When I needed you, you chose silence, now you remember. He nodded, shame darkened his face. I'll earn it. Let me try. She looked down at him like he was a cracked statue. But she didn't say yes. Oh no. She turned and walked back into the shop. And yet, she didn't tell him to leave either. Dave hadn't stopped thinking about Bucky since she left the hotel with his 50 million naira. He watched her grow online, saw the photos of the baby shop, the whispers of her comeback, the elegance in her silence. Then he heard from a contact that Bucky had given birth. He came to Ondo. Drunk, waited until the naming ceremony. Walked in like a ghost in broad daylight. Reeking of gin and entitlement. That child might be mine, he said. The hall went quiet. Even the baby stopped crying. Femi stood, veins bulging. What did you say? Dave smiled lazily. You think I gave her that money for free? Ask her. Bucky stood up. Come. No shaking. She brought out a brown envelope from her handbag. Handed it to Femi. DNA test. I did it last week. Femi opened it, hands trembling. Probability of paternity, 99.99%. Bucky looked Dave straight in the eye. She's yours only in your dreams. You paid for a chance you never earned. Dave swallowed hard. He turned and walked out, humiliated. The crowd clapped. Mama Femi cried again, this time for real. I lost a daughter trying to gain control. Bucky turned to the crowd, baby in her arms. Sometimes the people who break you teach you how to build. But she wasn't done telling her story. Not yet. After the naming ceremony, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Bucky rocked her baby in the dim room, staring at the ceiling. Her mother was asleep. Femi had returned to the guest room. But Bucky's heart, loud, heavy. Her phone buzzed. A message. From Titi. So now you're a queen. Remember who helped you pack when you were disgraced? You think I don't know that money came from Dave? Bucky stared at the text like it was poison. Her chest tightened. Titi knew. She knew everything. The 50 million naira, the hotel, the disgrace Bucky buried. And worse, Titi wasn't warning. She was threatening. Bucky couldn't sleep that night. Titi's betrayal scratched open wounds that hadn't healed. Memories flashed. When she was kicked out of Femi's house, Titi was the one who hugged her. But now, she realized Titi was always watching, ever helping. She went online, and there it was. Titi had posted a picture, a throwback photo of Bucky crying on the floor with the caption, "Never forget where you started from." Some people shine off disgrace money. The internet caught it like fire. People didn't know the full story, but they knew enough. Bucky's business page was getting tagged. Comments flooded in. No hotel money built that shop. That Dave guy SEF. I heard she trapped him. Bucky's baby cried. But this time, Bucky couldn't hold her. She dropped to the floor and wept, hand on her chest. Mama Bucky watched everything unfold and kept silent. But inside, she was boiling. The woman who once sold mangoes under the sun now watched her daughter be torn apart online by vultures. She called an old friend, the lawyer in a cure. I want to protect her business. Legally. The man agreed. While Bucky cried, Mama walked. Registered the business under Bucky's name. Filed for trademark. Took down false online posts with a court order. The next day, news broke, online defamation suit, influencer faces 5 million naira in damages. Titi went silent. Bucky didn't even know what Mama had done until the papers arrived. I didn't raise a disgrace, her mother said, calmly. I raised a fighter, cry small, then fight back. Just when peace started picking in again, Dave returned, but this time, not drunk. He came in a clean suit, clear-eyed, with proof. If you're still watching, hit the subscribe button and tell me, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. He showed up at Bucky's shop with a flash drive. You may hate me, but I need you to see something. Bucky didn't want to, but she watched. CCTV footage, hotel bar. The night he sent the money, Titi was there. Talking to Dave. Laughing. She came back to my room that night. Told me you'd never forgive me. Told me you'd run off and use me. She set you up, Bucky. Bucky's legs buckled. The betrayal ran deeper than blood. It wasn't just Titi mocking her downfall. Titi had orchestrated it. Bucky didn't speak for 2 days. She breastfed her child, restocked the shop, and smiled at customers, but something inside her had cracked. On the 3rd day, she called her assistant. Watch the shop for me. I need to go to Lagos. She left the baby with her mother and boarded a night bus. The city hadn't changed, but she had. She went straight to Titi's salon. Titi smiled when she saw her. Oh, Bucky of glory. Slap. Clean, loud, deadly. Customers scattered. Bucky leaned close. I cried because of you. I almost gave up. You will never understand what you cost me. Titi stammered, reaching for excuses. Bucky turned and walked out. No police. No revenge. Just justice, raw, undeniable. And it wasn't over. Bucky sat cross-legged on her cold-tiled floor, phone in hand. The file was open, sent by her lawyer, tipped anonymously. 3 women. 3 large transfers. All from the same foundation account. Dave's voice played in the background. Once the money moves, delete the transaction logs. My wife never checks. Her heart didn't break, it calcified. She forwarded the evidence to the foundation's board. No emotion. No warning. Then she made her final post. I'm not perfect. But I'm not a thief. If I go down, I'm going down with the whole damn truth. The next day, Dave stood in front of the board, his life unraveling on a projector screen. His wife was there. Black dress. No pity. Just finality. I let you hang yourself, she said. The money's been tracked for months. Bucky will not be prosecuted. Her business will receive a donation from my private account. I watched this man use women like bandages. Not anymore. Bucky was free. On paper. But her chest carried debris. Even victory felt hollow. She stayed indoors, curtains drawn, feeding her baby, feeding her mind thoughts she couldn't silence. No social media. No phone calls. Just shadows of regret. Femi came every Saturday. Never knocking. Just left food at the door. No pressure. No speech. Just presence. He prayed. God, if she forgives me, I'll never take her for granted again. One afternoon, Bucky heard a knock. Not Femi. A softer one. Slower. Mama Femi stood at the door, tray of yam, palm oil, and trembling lips. She didn't sit. I ruined everything, trying to protect my son from something he needed to face. Bucky frowned. What are you talking about? Her voice dropped. Femi's father is alive. Bucky's spoon clattered. But, you said. I lied. I hated him. He left me for a city girl. So I told everyone he died. Even Femi. 3 days later, a tall man entered Bucky's store. Are you Bucky? Yes. Who are you? I'm Femi's father. Bucky's hands went cold. Femi stepped out of the storeroom. Froze. This is a joke, right? No. I'm sorry. You don't get to be sorry now. Femi stormed out. But something in him cracked open. That night, Mama Femi returned. This time, weeping. I couldn't follow his dream. He wanted me to move to the city. I was scared. He found a woman who wasn't. She sobbed. When he left me, I made a vow. Femi would never marry a city girl. Never face what I faced. Bucky, quiet but firm. Your vow became his burden. The next day, Bucky went to meet the man. He looked older than his years. Regret did that. I'm dying. And I want to tell my son the truth. He handed Bucky an old, crumpled letter. I wrote this when he was 5. His mother never gave it to him. That night, Bucky gave the letter to Femi. He stared at it for hours before opening. My son. I wasn't brave enough. I hope one day, you'll forgive me. Femi wept into the floor. The old Anglican church in Onondo was nearly empty. Femi sat at the back. His father arrived in silence. I hate what you did to us, Femi said. But I hate how long I've carried it more. They didn't hug at first. Then they did. Slowly. Awkward. But real. I forgive you. But I won't forget. I don't need you to. Mama Femi arrived. Quiet. She joined them. 3 hearts bruised, not fixed, just healing. Bucky reopened her shop. Business doubled. She opened 2 more branches. Her YouTube returned, not with gossip, but growth. Final episode: Bucky, Femi, Mama Femi, and Femi's father. Bucky spoke. Pain travels in silence. Healing walks in honesty. She looked into the camera. I was betrayed and left behind. But I didn't stay down. I took dirty money and made it clean. I loved the man who broke me, and I forgave him. I became the mother I never had. Then her voice cracked. Don't let trauma raise your children. Don't let pain define your future. And never let pride bury your truth. That night, in their quiet room, Bucky turned to Femi. I'm sorry. For what? For not building our home the way Proverbs 31 says. I let Titi lead me. I lost sight of the woman I vowed to be. Femi shook his head, eyes red. He knelt, held her hands. And I'm sorry for letting Bimbo in. For asking you to give up your dream. For trying to cage your fire. For leaving you to fight alone. He picked up their baby, kissed her head. Thank you for this gift I don't deserve. They both cried. Not from pain. From finally releasing it. Titi vanished from Lagos. Word was, she was spotted in Enugu, running from mud on the street. Dave. Divorced. Disgraced. His assets were frozen, reputation shredded. Karma came wearing a Rolex, slow but sharp. Bucky didn't clap back. Some wins are better served in silence. Femi's father passed 3 months later. Peacefully. At his funeral, Femi read a verse. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Bucky sat in the front row. Baby on her lap. Her crown invisible, but shining. This wasn't a story of revenge. Or perfection. It was a story of broken things, mended by choice. And the kind of love that crawls back from the dead to live again. Her final video of the series. After the death of Femi's father, she sat with Femi, Mama Femi, her mother and their baby, and said, pain travels in silence. But healing walks in honesty. She looked straight into the camera. I was betrayed, shamed, and left behind. But I didn't stay down. I took dirty money and made something clean. I loved the man who broke me, and still forgave him. I became the mother of which I am very proud. I chose myself, again and again, until I became whole. Her voice cracked. But she didn't stop. This is my story. And maybe, it's yours too. Don't let trauma raise your children. Don't let pain define your future. And never ever, let pride bury your truth. My lovelies, we have come to the end of the story of My Village Wife. If you have watched till the end, follow, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Bonietta African Stories for more interesting stories.